one thing I appreciate is that many of the people listening to our episode are likely ambitious empaths, which, ambitious empaths are often highly driven, highly perfectionistic, and have very high standards. And I think that when we're driven by those high standards, they can oftentimes result in poor communication skills, thinking that we've, communicated exactly what we want. And then we feel, just wildly, our expectations are, wildly shot when we don't meet those standards. So I really am curious for, for our audience who might be willing, how can they practice, um, what is it that I want to say? Like, when you have high standards, how can you bring those into conversation in a more responsible and um, self kind of I perspective?
I think there are a couple of really easy tips there well, they sound easy, but they really aren't. The first is you have to be willing to give yourself the benefit of the doubt. So many of the people that you're talking about have extremely high standards and therefore are incredibly self-critical when they don't meet their own standards. So you've got to give yourself the grace to mess up and to be wrong sometimes. So that's step one. Step two is to always look at the situation from the other person's perspective and understand that none of us are perfect, and as a result, our communications aren't perfect. And if we keep that in mind, and we keep in mind the fact that mistakes are going to happen in communication, it makes it much, much easier for us to think about how is the other person hearing this. And then that allows us to continue the conversation in a more positive way.
Mm. I love that you knew the question that I was asking when I couldn't articulate it clearly.